Legislators have released details on a new plan for the state to handle the coronavirus. Amy Reed joins us live to break down what's been included here. Amy?
Republican legislative leaders have been saying for weeks that they want a comprehensive approach to combating this virus, and with dozens of provisions included in this legislation, they've certainly accomplished that. New proposed legislation at the Capitol tackles the impact of the coronavirus seemingly from all sides. When it comes to health care, a GOP-backed bill package looks at covering the cost of vaccinations for seniors on the state's senior care program. It also prohibits insurance from charging for testing for COVID-19 and allows pharmacists to extend prescription refills for 30 days during a public health emergency. Some other changes look to cut some government spending given the impact the disease will have on the state's economy and revenue. Provisions would give the Joint Finance Committee power to reduce projected spending, pause certain tax cuts, and take back pay raises for state and UW system employees. That's if a checkup still to come from the Fiscal Bureau in June shows an estimated deficit in the budget. The governor so far has not been supportive of this, as it gives the Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee broad authority to cut spending. In his own legislative proposals, Governor Evers supported giving millions to agencies responding to the crisis, including an uncapped amount to the Department of Health Services during a public health emergency. Republicans have not taken that legislation up in the weeks since it's been announced. The Senate Majority Leader said yesterday that he's going to keep working with Democrats to come up with a bill that can pass with bipartisan support. We reached out to Democratic leaders today, but did not hear back. At least one piece of this legislation that seems to have support from all sides is the repeal of a one-week waiting period for unemployment benefits. We've seen that in all the legislation that's been proposed so far. Madeline O'Neill explains why the Department of Workforce Development Secretary is pushing for that repeal.
Amy, repealing that would not only give those receiving benefits the up to $370 from the state for that week, but the $600 that will eventually come from the federal government as well. So that translates to nearly $1,000. And that's why the DWD Secretary Caleb Frostman wants this to happen as soon as possible. Now, new numbers show that between March 15th and April 6th, the department received more than 300,000 new applications for benefits, distributing nearly $70 million worth in that 3-week time frame. To respond to that 1,600% increase in initial claims compared to the same time period last year, the DWD is recruiting new workers, keeping current staff working overtime, and updating its IT infrastructure. Now, Frostman wants the state legislature to act by repealing that 1-week waiting period.
That could be $1,000 a week that folks would have to pay their bills, to put groceries on the table, and then also to support some of these essential local businesses that are still open. So, of course, for family economic stability, but also for our state's overall economy.
Those receiving state benefits will not need to reapply to anything to get that additional $600 from the federal government. The DWD says the first of those payments should be issued the week of April 26th. The department also expects to start collecting applications from gig workers, freelancers, self-employed people, and independent contractors as part of the pandemic unemployment assistance starting around the week of April 21st. We'll have more information on our website.
All right, Maddie, Amy, thank you. We've had